let's tell you about what we are going to talk about here in Studio 61. The story of famous writer James Baldwin is coming to life on stage. The HartBeat Ensemble and the Austin Arts Center production of Citizen James, or Young Man Without a Country, is now underway, and Godfrey L. Simmons Jr., the artistic director of the HartBeat Ensemble, joins us this morning. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I'm so glad to hear about this production and some of the upcoming changes. First off, congratulations. The HartBeat Ensemble is celebrating 25 years. That's such a major accomplishment.
Yeah, no, we're blessed.
What is in store? We'll get to what's in store in just a moment, but first, tell us some background information about the ensemble for folks who may not be familiar with it.
Yeah, well, HartBeat Ensemble is a theater company in Hartford that strives to make theater that kind of helps navigate the boundaries that separate us through race or gender, geography, class, all those things. And we've been making theater for 25 years. They were founded on 9/11. Actually, it was their first day of operation. So, I mean, they've been in the middle of it way before I got here in terms of just doing work that really speaks to the issues that people are navigating themselves in their lives with their communities. So,
Incredible. Now, you all just announced that the HartBeat Ensemble is now the resident theater company over at Trinity College. Congratulations on that as well. So what's in store and the future for both of these venues?
Well, this is a great collaboration because, you know, for HartBeat Ensemble, it gives us a moment to breathe. It gives us a moment to have a space and a connection to this college. There are students there that can really glean some information from working with professional artists and professional artisans and technical people that are working deeply to make art, to make stories, to build stories. So, and I think it doesn't just affect the theater department. I also teach in the theater and dance department there as well. I think it also is a way to really affect curriculum and affect the students there who are studying. In fact, you know, I was just in a classroom that was dealing with global activism, right? And we were talking about, they happened to be talking about Harlem in the 40s, which is a deep connection to James Baldwin. So there's some real curricular advantages to having a company like HartBeat there. You know, this wouldn't have happened without the executive director at Austin Arts Center, Deborah Goff, who is amazing. And this was really, you know, this is really one of her ideas. We did Jimmy and Lorraine there by Talvin Wilkes, which was about James Baldwin and Lorraine Hansberry last fall, and it was a success. And I felt like we really were able to kind of like wake up the campus with some other types of events across the campus that dealing with both the issues of the play, but also just expanding, you know, the intellectual life of the school.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, so for folks who are not familiar with Citizen James, tell us a little bit of background on the play. It's currently in production right now.
Yes.
And what can people expect?
So Citizen James Baldwin is 24 years old. He is at LaGuardia Airport with $40 in his pocket and a one-way ticket to Paris. And this is right before he's about to fly out and kind of become James Baldwin. If you know anything about James Baldwin, you probably know that he spent much of his life in France. And he's telling us the story of why he's escaping, why he is leaving. It's poetic, it's magnetic. The actor playing him, his name is James Alton. He's wonderful in the piece. Joanne Yarrow, one of our ensemble members, has directed it fiercely and lovingly, and the playwright Kyle Bass has just written an extraordinary play. We produced another of his plays. Some folks may remember Possessing Harriet a few years ago, which was just a wonderful play set in the antebellum North, and so it's just a beautiful piece, and it really speaks to what's happening right now in our world, right? Where there's a real question about struggling with what it means to be free, what it means to like live in this experiment that we call a democracy, right? And so James Baldwin is really dealing with that in a existential way, right? He's like, I gotta go, and you'll find out why. You'll find out, you know, what that process was. You'll find out what led him to the moment of having to leave, and what the cost is. And there's a real sense of connecting that with our now, which is really a great thing about the production.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we will have more information for you on our website on where you can get your tickets to support this great production.
Thank you.
All right, we have more